Hi and welcome to Terry Talks Movies. This time around I got 4 things for you from Umbrella Entertainment. There are 2 from the 1970s, 1 from the 1990s and 1 modern movie. All of them can be considered in some way, I suppose, cult films, though the first one I'm going to mention is more of a serious geopolitical drama, but they are just so much in my wheelhouse. I'm delighted to have them here. I already had other copies of 2 of them, but the versions that Umbrella have put out are superior to the other versions I've got. So we've got a political drama, we've got a blaxploitation movie, we've got a goofy science fiction movie, and then another goofy science fiction movie. So we'll start with the political drama. This one's got 2 names. It's from 1974, and the original name for it was The Terrorists, which is an incredibly prosaic name. But the version I've got is actually called Ransom, which is an incredibly prosaic name. Umbrella Entertainment have put it out in a limited edition of 1,200 copies, and it's a really cool film starring Sean Connery. Here is the cover. It's on a beautiful J card. I'll take the J card away so you can see this beautiful cover art that they commissioned for it. There's that side and that side. So the cover art is just kick-ass. I'll show you the back of the J card and I'll freeze it a little bit so you can see the extras. There it is there. So basically the story is this. The British ambassador to a country called Scandinavia, they keep it very vague as to which country it is kidnapped by terrorists. A plane is hijacked by the same group of terrorists. And the security chief, played by Sean Connery, has to try to deal with all this stuff. The movie was filmed in Norway, and they borrowed a plane from a Norwegian billionaire to make it. I've seen this one before, and it's a nice, tight 1970s action drama. Connery playing someone from the fictional country of Scandinavia still keeps his accent. Ian McShane plays the head terrorist on the aeroplane. This is Ian McShane when he was young and beautiful and doing things like Villain, where he played Richard Burton's boyfriend. It's that era of Ian McShane. And it works. It's a tight, really well made drama about terrorism at a time when planes are being hijacked every couple of weeks. If it does seem a little cliched when you watch it, it's because there have been so many other movies after this one made around the same theme. That, of course, is the slipcover of it. But underneath, we have very much a 1970s style of cover art there. And on the back, we have a lot more detail. Now, this is one of those reversible covers that Umbrella put out, so you can get rid of the Australian censorship classification. So there it is on the inside with the disc. I recommend this one. It's an odd film for Sean Connery's career, and it's Sean Connery playing something a bit different, which of course we appreciate. Being typecast as James Bond was a real hindrance to his career, and he did a lot of interesting films to fight that stereotyping. Quite impressed with the extras on this too, because it is a lesser film in Sean Connery's career, but the extras are still pretty damn good. We've got a feature-length audio commentary by Lee Pfeiffer, along with film historians Paul Scrabo and Tony Latino. They are very good. The Wilderness Period, Kim Newman on Sean Connery. I always like Kim Newman. He brings in so many off-the-wall hidden gem movies just in casual conversation when he talks about these things. There's a Sean Connery 1970s trailer reel, which I'm looking forward to seeing. An alternative title sequence. Really great little hidden gem from Sean Connery's career. He gives full value in it. Ian McShane is icy cold as a terrorist. You got to check that one out. You put it in the same realm as things like Who Dares Wins, a 1980s terrorism movie, which is not as good as this one, but it's in the same general genre. I love this movie. Already had a Blu-ray copy of it from Arrow Films, but this one is more complete. It is one of the great Pam Grier movies of the 1970s that Jack Hill directed. He did a number of them. He did the Big Dollhouse and the Big Birdcage, which were Filipino-made women in prison films with Pam Grier amongst other people in it, including Sid Haig. But then he made 2 movies with Pam Grier that kick ass solidly, and this is the first of the 2. Coffy. If you haven't seen Coffy, it's about an ER nurse whose nickname is Coffy, whose sister is killed by a bunch of drug dealers, and she goes after them. And she really goes after them. She pretends to be a sex worker to infiltrate the organization, and she just goes through them like a dose of salts. This is Pam Grier kicking ass and not taking names. Like the other one of these two movies, Foxy Brown, she's not adverse to attacking the wedding tackle of men that piss her off. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. This one is in a really nice, solid hard case. I'll give you a look at the special features, but I will read them off as well. There's an audio commentary with Jack Hill, the director and writer of the film, a taste of Coffy, an interview with Jack Hill, Baddest Chick in Town, an interview with Pam Grier on Coffy, and its follow-up, Foxy Brown. Badass Cinema, a feature-length documentary by Larry Cohen. That is incredible for an edition. And Pam Grier trailer compilation. She had a body men would die for, and a lot of them did. Great tagline there. So I'll just slide everything out of here. We'll do the disc itself first. There's some of the other art. Again, total peak blaxploitation. They call her Coffy and she'll cream you. I love that. And this is just the slipcase. Inside you've got that iconic artwork. And on the back you've got that. And again, it's reversible to get rid of the Australian censorship classification. Poster art. Pam Grier poster art. You gotta love that. Fantastic stuff. Terrific edition. I don't know whether they're putting out Foxy Brown, but if Umbrella can accept some advice, I'd advise them to, because Foxy Brown is fantastic as well. It has the best use of a pickle jar I've ever seen in a movie. There's also a 48-page booklet with essays about this in it. I won't go through them all. Pam Grier and the Women of Blaxploitation. But I always like these editions, so anytime I want to look somebody up for one of these movies, I just have to grab the movie and the booklets there. And there are also some lobby cards. I've got to make sure that I can show them to you. They're all in black and white, but they're very much stylish. There's Pam Grier and Sid Haig playing one of the baddies. Pam Grier masquerading as a sex worker. And there is one of the other women who does sex work. Bad guys. There's Coffy with her boyfriend, the very upright wannabe politician. There she is with a friend who's a cop, and her in a nurse's uniform. And Pam Grier with Robert Doakey, who plays the pimp. This movie is so much in my cinematic sweet spot. This is the stuff that I snuck in underage to see at the cinema. Just kick-ass 1970s blaxploitation action. All things were possible. Any kind of violence was possible. There was gratuitous nudity, of course, because it was that kind of movie. Really kicking soundtracks. And action stars that don't get enough love in the modern era. People talk about Bruce Lee and people like that from the 70s. But Pam Grier kicked ass, and she really rocked a sawed-off shotgun when she needed to. And in the climax of this film, she puts it to very good use. You've got to see Coffy if you haven't already. And Umbrella have put out such a great package of this that I'm really pleased to have it in my collection now. The third one's from 1995, a science fiction movie. Well, I like science fiction movies, as we all know. This one is directed by a woman, starring a woman, based on a graphic novel series which really was transgressive and totally on point during the punk era. And by the way, the cover art by Loopy Dave Dunstan is just beautiful. Tank Girl. But Tank Girl is just such glorious fun. It says, on the back, it says, in the future, the odds of survival are 1,000 to 1. That's just the way she liked it. There's a card on the back. This is a limited edition of 2000 again. Let me just take the card off to show you the artwork on the back, because it's got a wonderful painting of Malcolm McDowell on it. There's Malcolm McDowell with the mutant kangaroos. The movie, of course, is supposed to be set in Australia in a post-apocalyptic era, where Tank Girl and his sidekick Jet Girl, played by Naomi Watts, is the only person in the movie that has any connection with Australia in reality, because Naomi Watts came to Australia when she was 14 and lived here for a long time. And Tank Girl is just one of those VHS era fun movies. I remember seeing it every time I walked into a video shop, there'd be Tank Girl there, and it usually had a little card in it saying it was out and somebody was watching it. The slipcover inside is the classic Tank Girl artwork in the style of Andy Warhol. Again, just beautiful. I'll talk about the extras after I show you these things. There's the artwork you may be more familiar with Tank Girl, which emulates the same artwork that was on the VHS tapes. There's the back of it. Again, it's that reversible artwork to get rid of the censorship classification. And like Coffy, we have that beautiful artwork there. And the original artwork there, depending on which one you want. I wish I had enough walls to put up all these posters that Umbrella are putting out for things, but I don't. But there's more. There's another 48-page book. This one with Laurie Petty in there. Laurie Petty was perfect for this role. She was a kind of zany actress who was a little bit off the rails at the best of times. And Rachel Taylor says she was the perfect person to play Tank Girl. Iron Ladies, Riot Girls, and the surreal superheroics of Rachel Taylor's Tank Girl. So there are essays in here about the movie. As I said, these 48-page booklets you get with a lot of Umbrella's releases really give you everything you're going to need to know about the films. Lords and Ladies of the Wasteland, the post-apocalypse and the Cold War genre cinema. So we've got that for me to read through later. And we've also got the lobby cards, which I will show you in a moment. Malcolm McDowell, iconic Malcolm McDowell. Laurie Petty in one of her many costume changes. Malcolm McDowell being seriously unfriendly to Laurie Petty. Tank Girl and her tank. Tank Girl and her mutant kangaroo boyfriend. There is everybody there. And there. So the special features on this audio commentary with the director Rachel Taylor and actress Laurie Petty. The revolution will be ahead of its time. An interview with director Rachel Taylor and an interview with Laurie Petty. They're two separate interviews there. Interview with Doug Jones, who was in the movie. Interview with production designer Catherine Hardwick. Tank Girl Power video essay with Alexandra Helen Nicholas. Archival featurette and a theatrical trailer. And there is again that beautiful cover art. Take a look at that. That is just some lovely cover art by Loopy Dave Dunstan. And Tank Girl in this kind of a format, it's here to sell because people have such a nostalgic fondness for this movie. And the silliness and over-the-topness of it and the ridiculousness of the post-apocalyptic world the movie has is just so damn sweet. So I'm looking forward to revisiting that one as well. The last one I've got for you is a 2023 Australian science fiction movie, fairly low budget, about a pair of drug addicts who get trapped in a house going through different periods of time because they've taken some time-travelling drugs. Now, I know very little about this one. I've seen the trailer, which looks mad. I've seen some of the reviews on IMDb, which I'm going to totally ignore because I was shit. It says, rewind, relapse, repeat. Time Addicts. I like the fact that Umbrella are putting out these small budget Australian films. It comes with a J card. There's the back cover. There's 500 in this release. And the special features are outtakes, audio commentary with the director Sam Odlum, Fantastic Film Festival Australian screening Q&A with Festival Artistic Director Hudson Sawada and the director Sam Odlum from December 2023. I haven't seen this one yet, but I'm so looking forward to it. Small budget Australian science fiction movies I love. Not just because they're Australian, but because they're usually mad. It's that midnight movie. Watching it in the 1980s, there were a whole bunch of Australian midnight movies that had turned up in cinemas like the Valhalla. And I'm tuned into that kind of a zeitgeist and that craziness of low-budget Australian cult movies. There's the alternative artwork there on the inside. There's the back of it. And again, you've got the reversible cover to get rid of the censorship classification that nobody needs. Inside, you've also got a booklet, smaller than the other ones, but that's okay. Director Q&A. There's the outside cover of it. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm such a fan of low-budget science fiction movies when they're done well, when they're not just copying something else. And the idea of a pair of Melbourne drug addicts time-travelling in a house has me fascinated, and I'm looking forward to watching this one. I don't expect it to be the Citizen Kane of time travel movies. I just expect to have a bit of fun and be entertained and just go on a bit of a fun ride. And I'm quite sure the Time Addicts is going to give me that. Now, I'm going to post links in the description of the video on all of these films and where you can get them from Umbrella. And thanks again to Umbrella for giving me these ones to review. You've got 1970s blaxploitation, you've got 1970s terrorism, you've got 1990s post-apocalyptic feminism, and you've got 2023 time-traveling drug addicts. That's a film festival in itself. Just those 4 movies as a film festival. I'm there with my popcorn and my beer. So that's it for this time around. Thanks a lot for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know whether you want to see these ones as well. You can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by donating at patreon.com/TerryTalksMovies. Next up, we've got Science Fiction Saturday coming up. I'm actually doing horror this time around. I've got a little bit of a horror movie festival I've put together. And it's not just going to be Frankensteins and Draculas, it's going to be deep cut horror movies that I really enjoy. So until then, watch some good movies, watch some bad movies. Get some Pam Grier in you. And I'll catch you next time.